rock off. Everyone who's come to march past the cenotaph today has a story to tell. Thousands of stories of physical and mental pain, distress, and of the misery of loss. Let's just hear 3 of those stories.
I was shot by a sniper rifle. A large bullet had gone through my neck and it had taken most of my spinal cord. I had a ban, and that's when the guy who was with me said, "Mark, I think you've been shot." He said, "You know, with the extent of my injuries, they've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to be able to walk again." My whole world had just ended, really. I think if someone came in and says, "Right," I would ask them to finish the job off, really. I've done some extremely hard courses in my career, but that was probably the hardest thing I've done, my rehabilitation. I ended up walking out on a walking stick.
I was assessed to have severe post-traumatic stress disorder caused by my time in the Falklands. I was having night terrors. I became very combative, argumentative with my children and my wife. My wife was coming to her end of her tether, and she said that I had to go for help, and she actually came with me to the doctor's surgery. I started to talk, but I just broke down. I went on the 6-week course recommended to me by my psychologist. I met people who were going through exactly the same thing as I was. Since having treatment, I've been able to cope a lot better.
Charlie Henry Wood was my husband, and he was killed in Afghanistan on the 28th of December 2010. He told me that he loved me, but if anything happened, he'd want me to continue my life. I told him to go out there, stay safe, and don't try and be a hero, that he just needed to make sure that he came home in one piece, and to bring all his soldiers with him. I still think to this day that he knew that he was never going to come home. Obviously the normal situation would be that they would come to the house to tell me. Obviously they couldn't track me down because it was Christmas, I was away from home. A gentleman came on the phone and he asked if I was Mrs. Heather Wood. And I knew straight away. And suddenly within a split second my whole life had gone. I'd lost everything.
I'm running of it. Hurry on, go out because it's cold.
The day that Charlie died, there was 9,000 troops in Afghanistan at that time, and Charlie was the one that got killed.
Pipes and drums that they have a reputation for showing quite extraordinary courage in battle, leading the troops over the top of the trenches. 500 pipers were killed in World War I. They play now the lament, "The Flowers of the Forest." notes of the most reflective of Edward Elgar's Enigma variations, Nimrod.
Yeah, good nut, respect. Wait, I'm gonna have my 2 minutes silence by having a joint.
Dido's Lament by Henry Purcell. When I am laid in earth, remember me, but forget my fate. And it plays as we wait for the procession of clergy and the choir who will be leading the service of remembrance to come out onto Whitehall. cross-bearer Edward Fantrell leads the gentlemen of the Chapel Royal of the vestry, the Forces Chaplain, the Sub-Dean of the Chapel Royal, and the former Bishop of London, still Dean of Her Majesty's Chapels Royal, Dr. Richard Charters, will be conducting the service. And they'll be followed by the Major General commanding the Household Division's procession, traditionally the personal guard of the Sovereign. Dr. Charters there, no longer Bishop of London, but he still holds this post as Dean of the Chapels Royal. Well, the Major General's procession, for unknown reasons, has not come out onto Whitehall. They may have changed the arrangements a bit, because here, led by Theresa May, the Prime Minister, and Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the opposition, come the politicians.
Is it me, or every time you see Theresa May, she's starting to look more and more like Maggie Thatcher?
Leader of the SNP on the left there, former Prime Minister behind, John Major, Tony Blair. And here is the Major General's procession.
Fucking hell, he looks like Winston Churchill at the front there.
Led by the Chief of the Defence Staff, Sir Stuart Peach, the First Sea Lord, the Chief of the General Staff, the Chief of the Air Staff. And the long line of High Commissioners, 45 High Commissioners, what you might call the ambassadors for common.
She is. Yeah, of course she is.
Commissioners. They're joined by Irish ambassador. The green wreath. As they line up, we're waiting for the 15 different religious denominations who come here to take part in this service. The Roman Catholic Church, the Hebrew congregations, the Free Churches, the Buddhist faith, the Methodists, the Islamic advisor and the Imam of the Armed Forces, the moderator of the United Reformed Church, the Hindu chaplain to the Armed Forces, President of the Baptist Union, a network of Sikh organizations, Unitarian, Free Christian churches, Reformed Judaism, the Salvation Army, the Greek Orthodox Church, and the Church of Scotland, all represented here. And behind, you just saw the Major General's parade, the Household Division coming on parade to take their place. And for the first time, the two speakers in the centre there, John Bercow, Speaker of the House of Commons, and Lord Fowler on his right, and Speaker of the House of Lords, will be laying wreaths. So we're now waiting for the members of the royal family, after the guard has been parade. The Prince of Wales leads out 7 members of the royal family. He will be laying a wreath that is normally laid by Her Majesty the Queen on behalf of the nation. The Duke of Cambridge, Prince Henry of Wales, the Duke of York, the Earl of Wessex, the Princess Royal and the Duke of Kent are there, and their equerries.
You reckon he'd rather be in his garden smoking pot than fucking being there?
And the Queen watching
Prince Charles.
as we approach 11 o'clock and the duty of silence. Prince of Wales first lays a wreath on behalf of the Queen. And he will later lay one on his own behalf. The Queen watching from the balcony with the Duke of Edinburgh beside her. And now, on behalf of the Duke of Edinburgh, the equerry lays his wreath. And now the Prince of Wales lays his own wreath. Prince of Wales is Colonel-in-Chief of a host of regiments who commanded in the Royal Navy and was a helicopter pilot, as with many members of the royal family has seen a career in the services. He's followed by the Duke of Cambridge. And the Duke of Cambridge comes with Prince Henry of Wales, his brother, and the Duke of York. All three of them have served. Duke of Cambridge, 7.5 years of military service. Prince Henry of Wales, 10 years, including 2 tours of Afghanistan. And the Duke of York in the Royal Navy and seeking helicopters in the Falklands.
Yeah, he got shot down in the Falklands.
Watched from the balcony by Princess Alexandra and the Duchess of Cambridge in the middle, and the Countess of Wessex. The Princess Royal, Duke of Kent, the Earl of Wessex lay their wreaths. Princess Royal is Admiral and Chief Commandant for women in the Royal Navy. The politicians' turn, now led by the Prime Minister, Theresa May.
Maggie Thatcher!
The Leader of the Opposition, Jeremy Corbyn. The Scottish National Party, their leader in the House of Commons, on behalf also of Plaid Cymru, the Welsh National Party. He's followed by Vince Cable, the new leader of the Liberal Democrats. The leader of the Democratic Unionist Party in the House of Commons from Northern Ireland. now, in addition to the ceremony, the Speaker of the House of Commons, John Burke. Speaker of the House of Lords, Lord Fowler. After him, the Foreign Secretary, Boris Johnson, who lays flowers on behalf of the overseas territories, places like Bermuda and the Cayman Islands and Falklands and Gibraltar and St. Helena. Now, the first of the High Commissioners, led this time, they normally come at the end, but they are the oldest members of the Commonwealth: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa and India, all of whom had thousands and thousands of people serving both in the First and the Second World War. Indeed, India, whose acting commissioner is here, is said to have nearly 2.5 million people by August 1945 under arms. They're followed by the High Commissioners or Deputy High Commissioners of Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Ghana, Malaysia, Nigeria, Cyprus, Sierra Leone, Tanzania, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and Uganda. Kenya, Malawi, Malta, George Cross, Zambia, Singapore, Guyana, Botswana, and Lesotho. And now Barbados, Mauritius, Swaziland, Tonga, Fiji, Bangladesh, the Bahamas, Grenada, Papua New Guinea, and the Seychelles. And the final group of High Commissioners from the Commonwealth of Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Belize, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Christopher and Nevis, Brunei Dar es Salaam, Namibia, Cameroon, Mozambique, and Rwanda. The last two recent members of the Commonwealth who were not actually actually involved in the fighting of the First and Second World Wars, but are here because they are members of the Commonwealth and have an entitlement to lay their wreaths. And they're followed by the Ambassador of Ireland to Great Britain, Adrian O'Neill. The Irish regiments who served from way back, Irish Guards established under Queen Victoria and fought in both World Wars. The service chiefs come next. The Chief of the Defence Staff, Sir Stuart Peach, doesn't himself lay a wreath, but for the Royal Navy, Sir Philip Jones, for the Army, General Sir Nicholas Carter, and for the Royal Air Force, Sir Stephen Hillier. They're followed by the civilian chiefs for the Merchant Navy and Fishing Fleets, Captain Martin Reed, for the Air Transport and Auxiliary Association, Adrian Led. For the civilian services, Sarah Thornton chairs the National Police Chiefs Council. And the wreaths laid around the cenotaph, the service led by Dr. Charters begins.
O Almighty God, grant, we beseech thee, that we who here do honour to the memory of those who have died in the service of their country and of the Crown may be so inspired by the spirit of their love and fortitude, that forgetting all selfish and unworthy motives, we may live only to thy glory and to the service of mankind. Through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Teach us, good Lord, to serve thee as thou deservest, to give and not to count the cost, to fight and not to heed the wounds, to toil and not to seek for rest, to to labour and not to ask for any reward, save that of knowing that we do thy will, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Our Father which art in heaven, unto God's gracious mercy and protection we commit you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you his peace, this day and always. Amen.
Respect all that for showing this. I am in my uniform and been in tears all morning. God bless. Nice one, Geordie Bruiser. She doesn't look happy, does she? Royal Artillery 29th Commando Regiment. My son was in there. Royal Artillery. I was 2nd Battalion Light Infantry.
The Queen bows and leaves the balcony, and the members
what are now known as the Rifles
leave Whitehall, led by Prince Charles, who laid that wreath on behalf of the Queen. Now the clergy will leave next.
Respect to all that bloody Gulf War took many lives. So rest in peace to all who did there. Respect to all.
And the children of the Chapel Royal in their scarlet and gold state coats designed at the time of the Restoration of Charles II. A choir that used to follow the sovereign around the country in Tudor times singing, and now sings in London.
We're all in the Gulf War and lost friends and come back with fucking loads of diseases with the injections.
6 gentlemen in ordinary and 10 children of the Royal Chapel. And then the politicians, those serving today, and behind them, the second group, former Prime Ministers, John Northen,
She hasn't got nice legs, has she? Fucking Theresa May.
Gordon Brown, David Cameron.
She's got like old lady's legs.
Secretary of State for Defence, Gavin Williamson there, who'll go out onto Horse Guards to take the salute of those who go past the cenotaph.
Yeah, me cousin, he was Royal Commandos, Marines, and he got killed on the Second Gulf War. His helicopter got shot down.
In the House of Lords.
All of them got killed, all the lads in the helicopter as well as the pilots.
We're waiting now, and there's quite a long pause before we come
And
to
they basically were burying
march
empty
past.
boxes
But we'll be talking to people
because there was nothing left.
why they've come here, what they remember. So let's first of all join Sophie Rayworth.
Well, there are people of all ages taking part in the march past today, but I'm here with the oldest veteran who is taking part. He is 99 years old. He's called Ernie Searling. He is a former Royal Marine, and it is his very first time here. It's your first time here, Ernie, isn't it? What does it mean to you to be here?
Right, Royal Marine.
Seeing so many hundreds of men and women on parade today, so very, very humble. And I'm thinking of those that are not with us on this parade today, as some of the time.
Oh, Desert Drive, rat.
We lost them, but all I hope is that the future generations.
Yeah, kicked off on February the 26th, 1990.
In it, and see that the better
Lasted 2-3 weeks.
England, especially Great Britain, should be at its highest level. We don't want street fights, we don't want arguments, we don't want racial injustice. All those things are horrible.
And it is, as you say, very humbling, isn't it, to be here today in Whitehall. Why has it taken you so long? Tell us why, because you wanted to come.
It hasn't exactly, but you see, after the war, I seem to have contracted various diseases and illnesses.
Fucking hell, you're all armoured. I'm the only fucking infantry foot slogger.
I'll go up to Whitehall, and then something's cropped up. And this year, a Marine came to see me, and he said to me, what about going on that parade, Ernie?
Yeah, he was fucking 100 years ago. He would have been born next year. He'd be 100 old. He'd be getting his card next year for Queen.
But I said, I've never been on the cenotaph one, and I feel very honoured to be here and to be able to talk to you about good things of life.
Ernie, it's wonderful that you are here. It is absolutely fantastic to see you here, your first time. It's an honour to talk to you as well here at the cenotaph. And I'm just going to talk to the man as well who brought you here. He's right behind us, former Royal Marine as well, Kerry Howard. I mean, a wonderful moment for you.
It is indeed.
Yeah, we're all brothers in arms. Doesn't matter what regiment. We're all brothers in arms, but I understand where you come from because you've got another brother because it's like your regiment.
It'll be a very emotional moment for you shortly. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful description of what the Second World War was fought for in his mind and his hopes for the future. As the President of the Royal British Legion, Air Marshal David Walker, lays at the cenotaph his wreath on behalf of the Royal British Legion, and then other members of the Royal British Legion who organised this march past will follow. A rather formal exchange of bowler hats. And they're followed by the Royal British Legion Women's Section, Patricia Trimes is the chairman, the Royal British Legion Scotland, Charlie Brown, the national chairman, Ex-Services League, Chief of Defence Staff, former Chief of Defence Staff General David Richards, the Royal Naval Association, Carol Gibbon. 100 years since the Wrens were first formed. Brian Patterson of the Royal Air Forces Association, and Gary Best for Transport for London. So the first half of today's act of remembrance, the more formal part, is...
British Army biggest terrorist on planet.
The second...
Jordan, don't you think you want to go and tell these lads who's at their local villages in your village now, at their memorial, go and tell them that they're a bunch of terrorists?
Actually, it brings people here.
You know what I mean? Go down your local village where your local war memorial is and tell them that they're a bunch of terrorists. See what the fuck happens to you, you brave cunt. What the fuck have you ever done?
Of aircraft carriers. We were flying strikes over mainland Japan. We came in over the edge and were strafing an aircraft we could see. I could see Wally because we're only about 50 yards apart. His aircraft started to drop. The aircraft slowly went into the ground. It was quite hard to take, really.
I was deployed to Afghanistan. The morning of July the 8th, 2010, we set out on our patrol. The sun was just about coming up, and that was the last sunrise I'd ever see. Our team got contacted by an IED. I lost my left eye straight away. I had other serious head injuries. By the time I got back to the UK, I was informed that my right eye would have to be removed as well.
In 1943, I joined the First Aid Nursing Army. I was told you're going to be a wireless operator. We worked to what I now know was people in Europe, but of course at the time we didn't know that. Certainly by that time we knew we were working for SOE. They were stirring up trouble behind the lines in Europe. Years later, when everything was exposed, one learns that the people that we were talking to, as it were the group of...
Hey, Geordie Bruiser, can I block him? But just ignore him, that's what I'm doing. Obviously, he's got no idea, he's never served, and he's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? He's got no fucking goddamn respect. At all. And it's not just about fucking British soldiers, or the Americans, or the Germans. It's about every fucker who's laid their life down.
And that's all we did. Because you just can't...
You fucking idiot.
And then lose it. Because you've got to go back and retake it.
But that's what he wants us to do. He wants you to call him an arsehole so he can get a hard on. And he wants me to react to it. Fuck him. Yeah. The fucking tool.
We remember the guy who fought with it, the guy that volunteered, the guy that remembers the national servicemen. They gave their lives, and we all fought side by side. I went back to Japan.
Thank you, Hannah.
5 years ago. I made a point of going to the cemetery where Wally's remains are, and laid a wreath to stone. When I
read the engraving on it, Eddie's age.
Tetro, are you just copying what Jordan says? Because he's already said that, you fucking fag.
Lines of the explication. They...
You know, at least come up with your own shit. Don't nick somebody else's fucking trolling shit. You know what I mean? At least make your own excuse. Don't fucking nick Jordan's trolling shit.
And indeed, 13 of them were killed.
Well, if you think the British Army are fucking the biggest terrorists, why the fuck are you sitting watching this? Fuck off somewhere else, you prick.
People from my regiment came down to see me. They informed me that...
You know what I mean? We're here to be fucking respectful. You two cunts are just being here to be cunts.
The news of losing my sight. It's important to me that I still go and show my respect for what people have sacrificed. You know, I've lost my sight, but what we're going to show there, the point of being there is to show respect for the people who have given everything.
Well, there are a lot of people who come here year after year to pay their respects, to honour the war dead, and a lot of familiar faces as well, including this lady who's always here with the white anchor, the words, "Lest we forget." And this is Vivian Foster, who's the national president of the Merchant Navy Association, an association you helped form back in 1987. Explain why.
Well, basically I formed the association with colleagues who are now passed, obviously, because the Merchant Navy were forgotten. But personally, my family had so much to do with the Merchant Navy in the last war. My father...
Nice one, priest!
...was on a tanker and got the Lloyd's Medal and the MBE for surviving with 13 other personnel and carrying them onto safety. Another uncle, Uncle Stanley, he was killed, torpedoed, second trip across the Atlantic in a convoy. And of course, my Uncle Ken, who was the great hero, his story was one of the greatest survival stories of World War II. His ship was torpedoed off the West African coast. The lifeboats were rammed by the submarine, and he and 14 managed to climb onto a raft and survived 14 days. Unfortunately, only 2 survived the 14 days. And basically, a shark followed them for the 50 days.
Badass dog kickers.
It was just horrendous. We can't imagine it.
And so many people lost their lives, tens of thousands.
Yeah, apparently we had a lad who was ex-AS in prison.
For you, is that you're marking a
Yeah, he was an ex-SAS lad, and he was in prison with us. He was fucking huge.
The saving grace for England, because in the First World War, had the convoy system not been introduced 100 years ago, just before the end of the war, England had 6 weeks of food left. And if they didn't get supplies, then in fact we would have had to surrender, and Germany would have won.
And the convoys in both World War I, World War II, they were absolutely vital. Huge convoys that crossed the Atlantic, weren't they?
Well, yes, we had 32,000 men died in the convoys crossing the Atlantic in World War II. And of course, it was just horrendous. Without their supplying all the forces, in fact, all the forces were supplied. We'd have had no RAF if it wasn't for the Merchant Navy. Apart from the fact that England too would have starved. I don't think many people remember rationing, but that was the reason.
You've been here so many times.
I haven't got it. I haven't uploaded it yet. I need to upload it. Then I can mute all these pricks. Wait, 2 particular pricks who have got no idea about anything. Do you know what I mean? They've probably never even been to a graveyard where it's for the dead of wars. You know what I mean? I've done all the World War I graveyards, World War II ones. The only place I haven't been yet is Auschwitz, and I want to go.
For many years.
Vivian Foster, thank you very much for talking to us.
My pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
There are 262 contingents marching today, nearly...
Look at Tito, Tento, or whatever your fucking useless name is.
Not as...
You've got no idea. Nobody particularly cares what your opinions are, so shut the fuck up, keep them to yourself, or fuck off somewhere else.
either one part of the services or another, or friends who are together, or people who fought together in one place.
SAS, show up, you're dead. British Army, biggest terror, whatever. You fucking idiot. Keep your own opinions to yourself, you prick.
The Burma Star Association from all parts against the Japanese, which led to the battles of Kohima and Imphal, which actually stopped the Japanese. They're leading off. They take pride of place today. So the order is given now for the march past. The band leads off, and the music changes to more popular tunes. You'll recognise some of them, no doubt. It's a long way to Tipperary, and other famous martial songs will be played to keep them cheerful as they march. In all, something like 1.5 miles, which for many of them is a long, long way. The complete circuit of Whitehall from Horse Guards, right up to the top of Whitehall and then down past the cenotaph. And each contingent will lay a wreath or hand a wreath to the assistants at the cenotaph. They will take them and place them on the steps alongside those laid by members of the royal family.
I'm just doing something that I'm going to block this little prick.
Until there is a complete garden of poppies around the cenotaph. The London Scottish Regimental Association is there, commemorating the actions of the 2nd Battalion in the Palestinian campaign 100 years ago. They were preceded by the Monte Cassino Society. And the Gurkha Brigade Association.
Oh, priest there, my youngest sister's brother, he was in the, he's still in the Navy, I think.
Since 1815. Famous, of course, for their courage in warfare. They've won 26 Victoria Crosses. Take their 18-inch kukri into battle. And as is the way of things with 262 contingents marching, we can't identify each one, because we've never stopped talking, but the Aden Veterans Association comes past now. Fought in Aden, the former British colony.
Yeah, Hannah, you probably all got more sense and brains.
Aden veterans celebrating.
You probably got bigger balls than them,
in Aden.
and you're a lass.
They're followed by the Special Forces Club. And Van Bryson is among them. And we'll be able to see her, who worked with SOE, who we were hearing earlier on this morning talking about why she was marching and her experiences in the SOE, the Special Forces Club, and the Special Operations Executive. And Van Bryson there on the right of your screen, being pushed in a wheelchair in the middle of that group. And the eyes right as she passes the cenotaph. People of extraordinary courage. Help for Heroes, which is a new charity. Well, 10 years old.
As I say, Hannah would ignore him. He's obviously a child. He doesn't understand it. He's thick as fuck.
Those who were badly
And maybe if his granddad seen what he was writing, or as even his parents, they might even fucking braid the shit out of him for being disrespectful. Because I'm sure if he was my son, and I seen the shit he was writing, I'd fucking take his bastard head off his shoulders.
Association of Czechoslovak.
And yes, it would be child abuse. You could even phone lines for me, child lines. Because I would beat the shit out of you for disrespect.
Formed in the Middle East. Hospital, Chelsea.
When this is finished, I'm decorating around the, cleaning around the house, so I'll be streaming me cleaning around the house. So I'll be unplugging the PlayStation, plugging it back in, loading back onto lines. Then I'm going to do my Sunday's dinner and view it, screen it.
Speakers holding the wreath. "89 years old, Bill Speaker. Now, combat stress. We heard from Paul Smith earlier. He's not actually marching, but he's a member of the combat stress, because there is a much greater openness now, and thank goodness for it, about mental health issues, which used to be covered up, swept under the carpet, and all the people marching with combat stress have been treated for mental health conditions. The oldest veteran of Cyprus and Aden, the youngest veteran of Afghanistan.
Right, I want to cut that.
British Ex-Services Workshop Sports Association there. You see how you may get the feeling that people are passing twice. It's because one of our cameras is at the top end of Whitehall and catches them as they come down towards the cenotaph, and the other picks them up as they pass the cenotaph. But we saw there the British Ex-Services Sports Association and Blesma, the Luminous Ex-Servicemen's Association.
Right, sorry I'm back. Where we're at, know about the Queen Pope. I know about the Queen Pope. You're so bored when you take a shower. You get brainwashed.
A long, long tradition of courage. The
Sugar, you look like a dildo. If I plant your... You...
victory in Europe in 1945.
Callum Meister? New World Order. Oh, he's still fucking here, like a prick. Salute infantry. Well, thank you.
Association 5 battalions fought at the Battle of Passchendaele, which we were seeing before. The wreath laid by Corporal Barty, who, after he left the Black Watch, became Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's driver, until she died. They're followed by the Gordon Highlanders, London Association, the Queen's Own Highlanders Regimental Association.
Call you anorexic alcoholic.
Scots Regimental
And?
Association.
Are you jealous, like? Are you jealous because you can't afford alcohol?
The Light Infantry Association. This is the first time they've marched past the cenotaph in their olive green blazers. The Light Infantry cap badge, amalgamated like so many of the infantry regiments to form the Rifles in 2007. There is on parade today coming from all over Britain, Shropshire, from the northeast, and many from the west.
Yes, my regiment.
Parachute Association there. These soldiers, highly trained special forces pathfinder groups, who developed what sounds like a terrifying high altitude free falling technique to get behind enemy lines. The Guards Parachute Company was formed later in 1946 from members of the Brigade Guards. The Green Howards. khaki bearers follow there. Green Hive Association of Ties and Khaki Bearers, now known as the 2nd Battalion, the Yorkshire Regiment, won 4 Victoria Crosses during the Battle of the Somme. Not in uniform, but wearing green and white ties. Some of them won.
Callum Meister, I'm going to need you to reset my YouTube on a different account so I can ban people.
The Cheshire Regiment Association, this is the 25th anniversary of a more recent deployment of the Cheshires. 1st Battalion served in Bosnia. They also merged, like many other regiments, as the army shrinks in size, to become part of the new Mercian Regiment. The Durham Light Infantry Association, 16 battalions fought in the Battle of the Somme in the First World War. 2,500 people fell in action there.
See you later, priest.
Association from Lancashire in their distinctive red and white hackles on their caps, the Royal Regiment of Fusiliers, which have served in every conflict that the UK has participated in.
That's me dad's old regiment, the Fusiliers. Yeah, I'm a useless spineless twat like you who's never been in the army. Well, hey!
81 years old, association formed 10 years ago. They went to the 100th anniversary commemoration of the Battle of Passchendaele. As you can imagine, there are such a host of memories here, so many regiments remembering battles, so many people remembering those fallen, and some of them family.
Wow, there's some people here like now, people know your names, and they realise that you've got no respect for yourselves or anybody. You know what I mean? Lowest of the law, you call them fucking dead people now. Sick little bastards. Everybody's taking note of your names, and you've got the right to call them dead people. That's the difference. People's going to remember you now, and you'll get fucking blocked from every fucking stream. Even you'll get blocked off mine when I sort it out. You little prick. Yeah, I'm a raging alcoholic, so jealous. I can afford it, that's different.
Army Air Corps, which looks after its own fleet of aircraft, carries out observation and liaison reconnaissance work. Claire Green is marching there, the widow of Corporal Addis, who died in operations in Bosnia in 1999. Charlie Wood, who talked to us so movingly earlier this morning with the Royal Pioneer Corps Association.
Wow, is he still repeating that shit? The British Army, biggest terrorist organisation in the world. That was something what Jordan said, and you still just continue it like a little prick.
Logistics, but they are crucial to any.
As I said, you kind of think of your own ideas, can you? You little shit. And you're only loving it that you're getting attention now of everybody, and you're only loving it because of the simple fact you got little fucking mates there backing you up and think it's funny. Number one, I wouldn't want you to serve the British Army because I wouldn't trust you. Do you know what I mean? And number two, I wouldn't want you to go through what I've gone through, and a lot of lads who are watching this stream have gone through because I've been there.
Military police. Women in war, incidentally, in 1919 for the first time joined Royal Military Police Association and used to patrol ports and quaysides. For instance, they had a Dover patrol. Kept an eye on Dover and Folkestone and the ships there.
The Weimar is best fucking Tommies. Fucking Weimar were hard cunts, them. They were your first fucking paratroopers of the world. The Weimar. Tough cunts, and they were your first fucking elite regiments.
So, everybody.
Because the Weimar was out before SAS and the Farrers, or the Airborne. It was Hitler's fucking personal army.
And across, and the salute has been taken by the Earl of Wessex. So, as the band's go on playing and the contingents go on marching, let's just for a moment rejoin Sophie Rayworth down there in Whitehall.
With a gentleman who is about to take his place in 9 Squadron Association for the March Past. This is Harry Irons, 94 years old now. You were 17 years old when you flew Lancaster bombers over Germany in World War II. It must have been a terrifying experience.
Well, it was terrifying. The first
can I block them, Hannah? I can't block them. I need it updating me
speaking,
thing on YouTube.
Fright of my life. The actual gunfire was absolutely horrendous, and we had to fly through it. And on the first trip, the skipper said, "Make sure there's nobody above you with a bomb bay open," which happened. And I said to the skipper, "There's a lank above us with his bomb bay open." So I started dive port, which we did do, and we straightened out. And the bomb aimer said, "Skipper, at those times we didn't have H2S or radar, it was all visual." And the skipper said to me,
I'm going to score some weed, I need to.
The pilot, beg your pardon, the bomb aimer said to the skipper, "I've lost the aiming point, we'll have to go round again."
And Harry, the extraordinary thing was, when you were a rear gunner in a Lancaster, I mean, that was one of the most dangerous jobs at that time. You had a life expectancy of about 4 sorties. You used to like 60 sorties, didn't you?
Well, I did achieve 60 sorties. I come back every time, which was very, very unusual.
And you come here, you've been here many times, you're about to take your place in the March Past. Who do you remember as you go past the Senator? Because you lost a lot of friends, didn't you?
Lost, especially the first crew, they went on firefighting and they all got shot down. And I went for a
yeah, that's what we're trying to do, Chris. We're trying to ignore him. He's obviously a fucking 10-year-old with no respect. Hasn't got a clue. I hope his granddad walks in his bedroom and brays the shit out of him.
I mean, when I say horrendous, they were terrible.
It was such a long time ago now, but how vividly do you remember?
The likelihood is he's probably Pakistani, right? Or he's an Indian, and he doesn't realise a lot of the British Empire was fought by Indians for Britain. You know, even in World War I, where were the Indians? Gallipoli, where were the Indians? On the Western Front.
Very good reception going in.
You know what I mean? In France, same as World War II. The Indians were there, Burma and that.
Horrendous. But the deadliest thing of all was the night fire.
Well, Harry, I know you have to take your place now in the march past.
And if they really look into the history, they'll actually find Israel and Middle East were part of their allies. Because they were getting rid of arseholes like Hitler and stopping killing all Jews. So there you go, look at your history. What's the matter? You're jealous because we're the biggest fucking... We're not actually. We're under 87,000 troops. We're actually the smallest army in the world.
So one column ends, a band...
Because if you were watching the Andrew Marsh show, Murray show, before this came on, he was interviewing the Chief General of the Army and he says they've done that many cutbacks, there's less than 87, whatever, 87,000.
There are over 200. In the middle there you'll recognise somebody who spoke to us last year. Simon Ward, who lost both eyes in Afghanistan. And we heard from Rob Long talking about the last sunrise that he'd ever seen. Royal Air Force Association, which is one of those associations, like many that are here, who visit people who've been bereaved, visit people who need help. We can read bedtime stories of children whose parents are away on operation. Then followed by the RAF Regiment Association. RAF Regiment Association.
Hannah, there isn't nothing wrong with Jews.
And the RAF Ex-Prisoners of War Association. The Ex-Prisoners of War Association for the Royal Air Force. John Nichol was always here on parade, who was shot down in his...
Yeah, he was the first pilot to get shot down in the first Gulf War.
To Kuwait. And on the very first day of that war, shot down and taken prisoner. Released several months later. There's also Air Commodore Charles Clark, who's the chairman of the Ex-Prisoners of War Association, who was a Lancaster bomber aimer shot down in 1944, captured, went to Stella River 3. Seventh Squadron Association of Bomber Command, today operating...
Techo, I would just like to ask, are you only jealous because we do this for our service people and your country doesn't do fuck all?
We heard from Sophie a moment ago some points in the war.
Your queen has no power. She has more power than you, mate.
Squadron.
How long's up this on? I want to go and clean the fucking house.
All these members of the Royal Air Force and the Women's Royal Air Force formed in the summer of 1939, the Auxiliary Air Force, and women at that stage were put in charge of repairing and maintaining aircraft and vehicles. Women having first been recruited into the Royal Air Force in 1918.
didn't say you were mate, I just called you a mate, you know what I mean? But if you don't want to be called mate, fuck off then, prick. You're entitled to your opinions, and I think the other 8 people in the stream, as well as myself, are entitled to our opinions. And you're a prick. We've all opinionated that. We've decided you're a prick. That was agreed, unmutually. Not one of us spoke and said, is Tetro Oculus a prick? They just agree with us anyway.
Known as the snowdrops.
Yeah, and mine's not an opinion, mine's fact as well. You're a prick.
Quilter there, who won the Distinguished Service Medal from the Royal Air Force Survival Equipment Squippers Association.
Where are you from, Tetro? You'll not answer your man.
The screen coming into the middle now with his medals.
Death is promised. He won't answer you. He's a prick. There you go. He's a prick. George Cross.
So the Royal Air Force Bomber Command, the bomber squadrons, the parachute jumping instructors all go past. And now the first aid nursing yeomanry into another column, column D of the procession. The Fannies who still operate in civilian life, working in, well, in recent tragedies at Westminster and the Manchester bombing, London Bridge and Grenfell Tower. They're there, still doing their work, formed way back in 1907. It's 35 years since the Falklands War and the South Atlantic Medal Association.
Terratio is a Scientologist. Couldn't give a fuck, he's a prick. He's not a Scientologist to me, he's just a fucking a prick who hasn't got a clue about anything in life.
The South Atlantic Medal Association then goes past.
Carl doesn't know what a Scientologist is. Of course I do. So what fucking Tom Cruise is, you prick?
At this point, let's just briefly rejoin.
They're basically trying to say, I believe in science, but I believe in God.
Ken Fraser, who served the King's Own Scottish border.
You're agnostic. It just means you want proof, but you'd rather go with scientific facts of things.
But it's something that you're determined to do, isn't it?
Yes. And I love coming down here. You know, it's a great get-together. We all meet up once a
Tom
year.
Cruise is Scientologist.
It's a fabulous weekend, and this is a culmination of all, you know, this Remembrance Sunday.
You joined the army just at the end of World War II. You served all over the world, didn't you? You fought in Korea.
Yes.
In the Korean War.
The Korean War, yes. That was quite an experience. the North Koreans invaded, you know, South Korea, and that was in June 1950, and they were pushed right the way back to the 38th parallel, and the big battles commenced, and towards the end of 51.
And what is Scientologist? I couldn't give a shit. I don't have any opinion about religion anyway because I don't follow it. You know what I mean? So I can't give any comments about Catholics, Protestants. I haven't been christened. I'm not even a Christian.
During night time, during the day you have to keep your head down. But the Chinese on the other side, they've come through their hills where we had to go over.
Carl, you're making a mockery of yourself. How? Because I'm answering your question.
You stayed in the army for a long time. You were
I just don't believe in any religion.
Retired 25
I couldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? You want to go and fucking blow yourselves up for the sake of Allah or whatever. Fucking get on with it. You want to mass suicide for the sake of God or whoever you pray to. Fucking crack on.
It's just my life. And I hope to be doing it many more years for like 19 years.
I've got better things to worry about than fucking, oh, whether it's like religion shit. Wow.
That's how you do. Lovely to meet you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're telling us what to do now. Oh, I'm so worried. I must have to shut up. My fucking stream. Fuck off. You prick.
The Merchant Navy Association, we were talking to Vivian Foster, the national president, and carrying that white anchor.
Like how many cans do you have left? None?
The Merchant Navy was forgotten, like people who fought in Burma say they would.
But you're still asking us questions, but you just told us to shut the fuck up and watch telly. Wow. Hypocritical, innit?
In 2 world wars. They're followed by the naval contingents, including the Corvette Association, the Flower Clubs.
Oh dear, better pop down the shop. What for? I don't need to. I've got plenty here.
Which went with the convoys.
Oh, you're on about alcohol. Oh no, I don't drink every fucking day. I've got work.
Seas, the most amazing, ferocious way that people who served in corvettes swore by them, the Flower class named after, almost inappropriate for going to war with a ship called Bluebell or Nasturtium. There were many of them. And among the other ships wreck.
Is this the heavy infantry stream?
Ganges,
Yeah.
Hermes Association. HMS Hermes. First ship ever designed as an aircraft carrier was the Hermes. Sunk in Ceylon in 1942. And there was another Hermes carrier, of course, in the Falklands War.
Why are we celebrating? We're not celebrating the Beetlejuice, it's remembering. That's the difference. It's remembering people who were in your family who served in World War I and II or any other services and fell. Or anybody you know.
One that Prince Charles commanded Bronington back in 1976. The illustrious association is here, the HMS Penelope Association, a ship torpedoed by German U-boats. The Type 42 frigates, Glasgow and Sheffield and Coventry, all served in the Falklands a year. The Submariners, a 92-year-old World War II veteran in a wheelchair being pushed by his son who's come from Australia. Association of Royal Yacht Scotsman. Interestingly, during the Aden crisis in the mid-60s...
How's she a benefit thief? She gets a fucking pension, she's entitled to it.
Aden to evacuate.
She's got a bus pass.
The Royal Naval Benevolent Trust.
She'll be due to get a card of the Queen for her 100th birthday.
Served in the Gulf. It's established to help people serving or who have served as ratings in the Royal Navy or in the Royal Marines and their families. One of many charities. I should mention the Royal British Legion and Help for Heroes are only two of many, many charities, some of whom are represented here, who help in one way or another different aspects of these services. And now what is called the Fly Navy Federation, a whole number of organisations marching under the umbrella of Fly Navy, set up in 2009 to celebrate 100 years of naval aviation. And they say, which is interesting, that the Navy has been flying for more years than the Air Force, to celebrate their centenary in 2018. Among them the Fleet Air Armourers, Fleet Air Arm Association, the Buccaneer Association, the Field Gun Association, Fleet Air Arm Jungly Association, and at the very back of this section, one man marching alone. He used to march with his wife, but she's marching this year in another contingent from the Cloud Observers Association, Arthur Charles. The Cloud Observers were men and women of all ranks who served in the meteorological branch of the Royal Navy. To the last column, led by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission, Transport for London. Well remembered because London buses carried the troops to the front in the First World War. And leading the Commonwealth War Graves Commission were among them Jill Howes, whose grandfather was actually a stonemason who worked on the cenotaph when it was built. The War Graves Commission look after graves in 154 countries across the world, and they will identify graves. If you have a relative who's missing, they will try and find the grave where they're buried. They have an organisation devoted to doing that. The children of the Far East prisoners of war follow Transport for London, 60 of them. So they go on round Horse Guards. We start having not military but other members of services, people devoted to ambulance work, to the Red Cross, marching here. But let's for a moment rejoin Sophie Railway on Horse Guards.
Yes, I'm here with three people who've just taken part in the march past the last two surviving veterans who fought in the Battle of Monte Cassino in Italy. It was between January and May 1944, one of the bloodiest battles of World War II. And there were supposed to be three veterans marching here today, but Rosemary Hayward, your father, John Hodgson, died very, very recently, just weeks ago.
Yes, he died in September. He planned to be here today, so it's an immense pride that I stand here with his medals on, and having been part of the parade in his memory, but also the memory of so many veterans, surviving ones, and also more recent conflicts. To be part of this has been immense privilege, and I'm very proud to be part of it.
I remember speaking to him a few years ago. He led the contingent last year. He was determined, wasn't he, to come here year after year. It must have been incredibly emotional for you, walking past the Senator.
Very much so, and to be a member of the Monte Cassino Society, to meet veterans and family and friends has been immensely important both to him and to carry on his memory, today especially.
Jim Knox, you fought at the Battle of Monte Cassino. You were so young when you did. It was a horrific battle, wasn't it? So
it was indeed, yes. We arrived in the gusting line with the 2nd New Zealand did for 4 months, and we ended up in Monte Cassino on the 29th of April. It was rather alarming. As we approached it, the sky was lighting up, but Vesuvius was erupting. So that was a relief. Anyway, we got into Monte Cassino station and we was there for just on 2 weeks. Then we withdrew from there to San Angelo, where we had a shower, was deloused and what have you.
It was the losses in just 4 months. I think it was more than 55,000 Allied forces died or were wounded, lost their lives in just 4 months.
Yeah.
Who do you remember? Who were you thinking about when you passed the Senator?
I was thinking about how lucky I was to get out, first of all. And then you think of some of the friends that you had that you'll never see again. Quite worrying at
Let me
times.
just very quickly, Ronald Evans as well. You're 96 years old and you're here for your first time. What was that like?
Very cold, but very thoughtful. You're immediately thinking about all your pals that are with you at the casino, and all the counter.
Well, it's amazing that you are here today.
Counter-firing for the Germans.
Well, amazing to see you here today. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you all.
It certainly is an arduous march and very cold for some of the older veterans who are marching here. So we have younger members now. The Scout Association has been here, the Army Cadets, the Royal National Lifeboat Institution, the Girl Guides, the Boys Brigade. Here are the Kent Police marching for the first time. St John Ambulance Cadets marching for the first time. Wrongly called St John's Ambulance, they always complain. They are St John Ambulance. And they, of course, work at public events and at emergency events all over the UK. The Firefighters Memorial Trust is there, the Metropolitan Police Service, the Post Office Fellowship of Remembrance, the Church Lads and Church Girls Brigade. Post Office Fellowship of Remembrance in the Metropolitan Police Service and the West Midlands. This is at the back end of the column. We saw the Scouts Association and the Girl Guides going through and the Boys Brigade. And at a time of war, and in the Second World War in particular, the Guides and the Scouts played a very important part after bombing raids, providing help and assistance, and reserved their place here. Well, now, that is the very end of the final column going past there, coming out here onto Horse Scouts. And Sophie is on Horse Guards, where all these veterans have been arriving after they've passed the cenotaph.
Yes, more than almost 9,000 veterans and civilians all returning here now to Horse Guards Parade. I've got two of them here who have just marched past the cenotaph from the Royal Pioneer Corps, and that's Drum Major Desmond Bryant and Glenn Lath. And what kind of day did you have? Well, you come here year after year, don't you?
It's very uplifting day.
And the camaraderie is wonderful, isn't it? Between, you really feel it when you're standing out there on Whitehall, and the way the mood shifts through the morning.
Well, most certainly. You can't beat it. You can't replace it either.
What is it that brings you back year after year, then? Why are you so determined to come?
I come to pay respects to those who have given their life for me. Because as a veteran is a person that signs a blank check for the country, and we're willing to pay that check up to including his life. And that is why I go here every year.
And who is it that you think about when you march past the cenotaph year after year?
Obviously all the colleagues that we've lost over the conflicts and the wars before, my granddad and my father. We both served in both wars. And the camaraderie is unbelievable. You can't get it anywhere else in this world.
There is a real bond, isn't there?
We are one big family. We're all brothers and sisters in the same group, the same house, you know, and it's absolutely excellent. And I love it every year.
Well, lovely both to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Nearly 9,000 people then have marched down Horse Guards, and now the final contingents are coming out for the march past, with the parade being taking the salute, the Earl of Wessex and the new Secretary of State for Defence. And I think it should also be said, perhaps, that this isn't the end of the event for many of these people, because these groups who come here to London, they come down from Scotland, come up from Wales, the West Country, and actually once they've been through this formality, they probably had a meeting earlier on in the week, and then they go away and celebrate. The pubs around here are crammed full after this is done, people reminiscing. So the formality and the memory is one side, and the sheer friendship and bonds of friendship are strong. Sophie's got two more people with her who've been marching. Let's hear from her.
I do indeed. I'm talking to here Joan Duval and to Neil Trotter, who is the National Service RAF Association. And Joan, you had an extraordinary job. Tell me what you did in World War II.
I was what is known as a high finder and Victor operator on anti-aircraft battery.
And what did that involve?
That's getting the height as the planes come in, and you shout the net, whatever it is, so many over to the men on the guns elevate, and then we go to fire that.
You've come here many times, haven't you?
Yes.
What was today like for you?
Wonderful. Every day is wonderful. It gets the as soon as you get in here, everybody seems to drop a few years younger, and they're all, do you remember when? And it's wonderful camaraderie.
And Neil Trotter, very quickly, I must ask you as well, what did it mean to you today as you passed the cenotaph?
Well, it's a day of reflection and remembrance, and I had an awful lot of members in the war, First World War and Second. Luckily, we didn't lose anyone, but I still remember the hardships they went through, and the families as well.
Very important to be here. Thank you both very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, in a moment we must leave Whitehall after this annual ceremony of remembrance, the laying of wreaths, the long columns of the march past. A 7-year-old and a 99-year-old paying their tribute. We've heard of the pride of those who face the fear of war and its horrors and have come through. We've been reminded of the pain of war, the suffering of the injured, the loneliness of those who've lost family or friends or lovers. And we have perhaps given an answer to that poet who wrote of the dark months of the First World War. Have you forgotten yet? Look up and swear by the green of the spring you'll never forget.
Come down with me now to Howard's End. I want you to see it.
They had some numbers out there. Vai put the kick in. Picked up cleanly by Mead.
Bye-bye.
Cherry! Oh, damn, my wall.
Sunny. Well, apparently you weren't the only one that he pressured.
For you, everyone's welcome at Tesco.
I'm really gassy. I'm not really gassy.
Brilliant, amazing. I mean, as soon as I saw the script, I thought,
You'll make me wanna shout.
6 years old, Jordanos had...
He was a pretty farmland, much of which Chris...
That's great value car insurance.
He wants to stop the trainloads of soldiers heading towards Germany.
The Samsung Galaxy J...
He can barely construct a sentence.
AmigoLoans.co.uk, representative.
Sister, but if I talk to my sister on the phone,
Delivering. You might like apologise for like the sound prints there.
Came by to say good night. Put it into your bank. That leaves you on £500.
It will receive an internal gate or wedge that stops.
Here we come in.
Still nice and creamy.
150 miles.
I used to know.
At jdwilliams.co.uk.
No!
Denise is running the restaurant.
Basically, when she... Unlike some funeral plan providers.
It says...
Something you love. Match. Join free today.
No, I'm not. I'm going to put outtakes on and I'm going to stream me cleaning the house.
Get up to half-price savings on autumn.
It's the job. Yeah, but then you always have some.
I did. Mr. Bell.
Oh, here's several.
That's all.
I beg excuse.
That the entire city was...
Works come to the end of the month, you lose any data that you haven't used.
There's no on?
Stand your luck.
It's too...
Judge Judy.
Loads of new features. All your favourite games. Just
My dear son, I was cleaning up the taxi, and in going through a box of rubbish, I came across... Don't be rude. What you've done. Take some hot water and clean those off.
The skinny one was from County Durham. The fat one was from Blackpool.
My eyes are getting...
In a bit.
This is what I mean when I'm doing
You
it.
guys still watching it? It still comes on, but I don't watch it. It's fucking shite.
Half price autumn sale.
Yeah, it is. It's a really shit show. I agree.
To report. So far.
Right, here we go. And what we're going to put on. Yo, British Billy. Right, I'm going to tidy. Then I'm going to do my dinner. So I'll leave you with Outtake TV.
My mother's always been when it's right, it's right. That's what I'm saying. That's okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can't look at you guys. Can't look at you. Good. Because I'm fiery hot with anger.
Goodbye, Australia. I'm sorry, I cannot get up these goddamn steps smoothly. I can't do it.
No, County Pool doesn't open till 7.
Yeah. You don't want to be trespassing in a county pool with an erection at 2 in the morning, sir.
He's not doing too good.
There she is, man. There's a bitch. She, man.
in his car.
Scar in his car?
Yeah.
Yeah, where? Which way?
Yo, Doc, you're squishing the shit out of your arms.
Y'all seen Barry a lot. Y'all seen Barry all the time. When people come to work, he be calm. But this time he was like, and it was, ooh, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like an animal in there now. And it was like, damn. Okay. Ooh, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Damn.
It's true. Wait, shit! Hoffman!
Yeah? I don't know. Sorry.
The blade that pierced his body came from his lighter. The blade that pierced his body came from his script.
Who can take an info in his side?
So get in the sun and make a groovy lemon pie. Oompa. Oompa. Oompa.
Sally, I am not dead. I just went over it. I'm gonna go after him and I'm gonna kick his fucking Nazi balls, okay?
You're coming with us, right?
No, Jim. My destiny.
The Avengers mascot.
If my coolness and your coolness had to fight, it's impossible to get this joke out. Never mind. Where I forgot where I was.
I thought the monkeys were...
Why are you laughing?
You're breathing on me.
Justin, I have you. I had to do it. Got it out of my system. We're good to go.
Yeah, Alan. Try not eating every Arby's sandwich ever made.
Yeah, Stu, why don't you try having an American wife?
Yeah, Alan tried taking a bath once every 6 years.
Joke's on you, I had one 2 weeks ago.
Joke's on you, my wife's American.
Don't forget, tomorrow's Earth Day.
Action.
Understand. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look funny at me. Just let me have another take.
As Mr. Sloan always says, there's no I in team, but there is an I in pie. There's an I in meat pie, and there's meat is an I in team. So let's all climb into the pie.
Sorry. It's a little liaison with the how's your father, right up the aisle.
Go out there and check on him. Can't believe this is happening.
I'm Jewish, Seth's Jewish.
Danny's Muslim. Shalom.
That's the loud.
That was very popular.
A lot of Benjamins to be made right now. Biotech. How's the portfolio? It's strong. Good. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So that's
And I gotta tell you, whatever positions he's tried on you, she loved it.
You don't understand that. You don't understand me. You don't understand the life I live, and you don't understand me. Sorry. Fucking. Want to do that again?
No. I'm alright.
Hey, Michael. Jelly. Michael. What if I can only get out of this car?
The sightly hands and the health is really good on like the bikini area. I mean, on like it's real.
We always cover the ass.
One thing that you can't talk to me about.
My sexual fantasies.
I'm going to. I knew that. There, see? You're such a dick.
Oh my God, am I glad to be out for that set or what? Oh, they told me this was going to be fun, this movie.
It's a new day. I'm over Sarah Marshall. Hello.
I don't think you understand, monsieur. I am Inspector Clouseau, the...
Thanks, James.
Symbol Thanks to race all that and start again.
Hard port! Gather way! Keep it trimmed!
Do something else! Hi, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
So, the headmaster in his wisdom has asked me to say a few words to you, my stories. Yeah, brilliant. Fucking love it. Yeah, that's fine.
No, we're all on his piece, but we have no weapons. You
You've
can't...
got another target, a military target, then name the... There!
And as for your wizard, if he hasn't run away by tomorrow, he will be the first to die. And you will all see that he is nothing.
Hey, what you doing? Where's your bunny rabbit?
It's a bear.
It's a bear. It just makes me giggle because I heard it like this. It's a bear. Now I know he didn't say it this way, and I'm sure his face didn't contort, but that is how I saw it in my head.
Where's your bunny rabbit?
He's a bear.
Oh, got it.
He's a bear. And then we're shooting the car thing.
Come on, hurry, quick. It's my teddy bear, come on. What's so fucking funny? This is serious.
You want me to say it real fast 10 times?
Teddy bear.
He calls 911 and he goes, 911? I need the police. This man stole my teddy bear.
Oh, 911? Yeah, I need the police right away. This guy took my teddy bear. Hello?
I lost my shit for 10 minutes. I could not keep it together.
911? Stop. I need the police right away. Yeah, this guy took my teddy bear.
What? My teddy bear. He's a real fucking bear. Teddy the talking bear? You never heard of him? He's fucking famous. Hello?
So you think we got there?
Hey, all right, good. Yeah, last week we were fucking acting. No, thank you.
I don't think I've ever seen a set where people are laughing as much as on this movie.
There's probably like continents we haven't even discovered yet.
I'm just saying, we just trust me.
It's great. It's really great, folks.
It was just very easy going. Everybody was enjoying themselves.
I mean, I think everyone's having fun. I know I am.
Birthday.
Go, step on it.
What the fuck was that?
She's crazy.
That was terrifying.
Go.
I'm ready.
Go. What?
It's hysterical. I mean, we laugh every day on this movie, and keeping that environment kind of fresh and upbeat. So the primary issue is what's funny, what's fun for the actors, what's fun for Seth.
Do you think she might be expecting me to make that kind of a move?
No, I don't think so. And not only that, Josh, we are 4 months away from an iPhone app where you hit a button and it tells you who is willing to blow you right here, right now, in this restaurant.
No, I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, exactly. You do not want to cash out before I blow.
This is the American fantasy right here. A professional NFL player is called upon to save the world.
Yeah, Tom Brady could do that.
Tom Brady could do that.
The only reason Brady doesn't fly is because he chooses not to. If Brady told me to kill myself, I'd do it. He's prettier than Giselle, you know. Are we having homosexuals over for dinner tonight? Is it?
No, just you, homo.
I kind of just reworded my joke, but hey, she's funny, Johnny. You got yourself a regular Tony Collette over there.
Wait, who's that? Is that good?
Oh, she's a comedian.
Oh, she's pretty.
Oh, she's as pretty as she is funny.
Okay.
Oh, she's funny, Johnny. So, here, let's Bernhard over there.
Wait, who's that? Is that good?
Yeah, if you want like a scowling blowjob. You're so pissed about it, don't go down there.
I have a boyfriend.
Yeah, the guy with the bear. But I'm talking about a mature relationship, Lori. I mean, if we were together, our babies would be spectacular. Yes, the guy with the teddy bear. It's a very cute relationship, but I'm talking about being with a real man, Lori. Someone who wears a blazer on an airplane. Someone who chews nicotine gum all the time. It's like $70 a pack. What is this?
It's called Mind Rape. It's actually pretty mellow.
What is this?
It's called Kennedy's Head. It's actually pretty mellow.
It doesn't sound very mellow.
No, it makes you cerebral. You know, like Kennedy. Kennedy was smart. That's what it refers to. Like Cuban Missile Crisis, you know, decisions under pressure, that kind of thing. Well, let's back it up. Laurie, this is Angelique, Heavenly, Shireen, and Sauvignon Blanc. By the way, heads up, do not use your electric toothbrush. It was in an asshole. You know what we just found out? We found out Heavenly has a Taco Bell credit card. Can you believe that? How fucking stupid.
Where's that?
Oh, yeah. We were playing Truth or Dare, and Shireen's pretty ballsy. Oh, my God. You know what? That's probably what Deirdre was doing over there. Remember, she was crouched over in the corner for a really long time? I thought she was just making a phone call. God, there are some fucked up fish out there. Oh, look at that one. Waspy white guy fish. I don't care for some of Conan O'Brien's humor. I don't like Irish humor. I married the wrong woman, and now I lead a life of regret. Oh, look at that guy. My son is taking me out to lunch today. He's paying for it all himself. I didn't even bring my wallet. I went to New York once in 1981, and I just did not feel safe.
You got what it takes?
I'll tell you what I got. Your wife's pussy on my breast.
Nobody's ever talked to me like that before.
That's because everyone's mouth is usually full of your wife's box.
You hired.
Shit.
Well, it'd be great when it's
She's hot. I missed
Yeah,
her when
I
that
got
was.
my mermaid fountain in here. It'd be perfect. Oh, yeah, and actually, the landlord offered to give me a free love seat if I bought him a case of Sudafed. Oh, yeah, I got a couple of tables, a couple of lamps in here. I'll be in better homes and shitholes by next month. I'm a bear wearing a suit that could fit a child. I might as well walk in there with a honey jar stuck to my nose.
Come on, it's not that bad.
And by the way, you're Christopher Robin in that scenario, so, get ready to get fucked by Tigger in the 100-Acre Wood. I'm a short bear in a suit. I look like boo-boo at Yogi's funeral.
Come on, it's not that bad.
And everyone knows whatever disease claimed Yogi is about to claim boo-boo.
Come on, it's not that bad.
Yes, it is that bad, John. I look like I'm about to throw a tantrum for ice cream. John, I look like the seal of quality on a crib. I look like a guest at Peter Dinklage's wedding. Yeah, you're on the bride's side or the groom's side? Yeah, what do you think, asshole? Just come over. I got the Cheers DVD box set. And the guy down at the store told me that everybody talks shit about each other in the interviews.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently Rhea Perlman admits that she once went up on George Wendt. Yeah, and apparently George Wendt confesses to a rape. Yeah, and apparently John Ratzenberger spends about 45 minutes defending the Armenian genocide. I will kick you out in 5, and you can get back to it. Oh, here's my fucking boat.
Well, kick me out in 5.
I will kick you out in 5. John, I have to kick you out. I'm having teddy bear company later. Paddington and his snatchy wife are coming over. I have to kick you out in 5. That's when the hunky construction worker next door takes a break and drinks a Diet Coke. I gotta watch it. Yeah, John, I have to kick you out in 5. The mother of my buddy John is coming over, and I have to fuck her. Ah, you see what I did there? Come on over.
All you gotta do is not fuck up. You're the least fucked up. Did you just fart in my fucking office?
I apologize.
Did you just fucking fart?
I got nervous. I think I got a concussion, and my stomach's upset from the nausea. It's dry.
You got a problem. Your asshole should be fucking clenched when I'm talking to you.
It is, sir.
No, it's not. You just fucking shit in my room.
It didn't come out. It smells
There's a
like
fucking poop fog in here. Dear God in heaven, what did you eat? Ugh. Smells like fucking rotten meat and cocaine in here. What kind of diet are you on?
Well, celebrity in a minimum wage job. This must be how the kids from Jurassic feel. You remember them? Fuckface and what's his fuck? This is how depression starts, Johnny. You know? I'm gonna have to start taking a stronger drug.
Come on, it's not that bad, okay? I got a shitty job, and I assure you, I'm quite content.
I don't know. I tried heroin, but I don't have any veins. I don't know. Maybe I'll sell drugs on the side. Is crack legal yet in Massachusetts? I don't know. Maybe I'll suck dicks in the South End for expert cash. We'll get it sorted out.
You're gonna be sucking on this in a minute. I'm quite content.
Yeah, the first sign of true happiness is chronic drug use. Oh, is that why you bought a prescription pad on eBay? Because of how happy you are?
I'm quite content.
You masturbate in the shower with Head and Shoulders. Things are not that great.
We do. We talk about you all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, remember, Ted, last week we were talking about how neat all of our shoes are?
All your shoes. My God, it was a lengthy conversation.
We were saying, like, you know, a lot of women look like unsteady horses when they wear high heels. Probably has sort of a regal, trot.
I can't tell.
Oh my God, yes, you can tell.
Yeah, I mean, like last week we were talking about how neat and tidy your purse is, you know? I mean, like most women, their purses are like a salad of tampons and gum. But, you know, yours is like just well ordered, you know? It's like if the Nazis had purses, this is how they would have been. They would look like yours. Like your purse has a Hitlerian orderliness, so, you know, way to go. Yeah, I mean, like just yesterday, Johnny and I were talking about how hot you are, you know? Like your features, you know? Like we were saying you'd even make a really hot guy. I mean, if you ever want to cut your hair and go in that direction, you know, you got options, is what I'm saying. You got options. Yeah, and like we're always talking about how hot you are, you know? Like, I mean, I was saying to Johnny, I was if I looked like you, I would be jerking myself off all the time. You know, so it's a testament to you that you have a career. You know, that you're not just staying home fiddling with your clitoris or whatever, you know? So a tip of the Fred Astaire top hat to you for that, I say.
I love hide and seek. I'll hide.
Well, now, hang on a sec there. Your dad likes you to show good manners, right, Tubby McFairfuck? Well, now, hang on a sec there. Your dad likes you to show good manners, right, Chaz Bono? Cocaine, right?
Come on, dude. Don't tell me you never done it before.
I thought that was just for people in Florida. Are you sure this apartment's nice enough for cocaine? Hey, Johnny, there you are. Hey, you gotta come back inside, man. Flash is telling the story of how he accidentally fucked Robert Evans. Hey, Johnny, hey, come on upstairs. Tammy Lynn's gonna make some RC Cola from scratch. Oh, Johnny, there you are. Hey, we got problems, man. Flash just hit a high school kid with a golf club. Let me out of here, you crazy bastard. Let me... Oh, I hear the fat kid running. I bet it's hilarious. Let me out of here, you crazy bastard. All right, look, I'll be reasonable. How about that? I'll put the fucking lotion in the basket. Come on, at least let me see your kid do the truffle shuffle, huh? How about that? We can... Oh, what? I'm acting like a cock? Yes, you are acting like a pointy ice cream cone-shaped Mitt Romney cock. Huh? I was at a Red Sox game, and he was pissing next to me in the men's room. Dick was cone-shaped. It was so weird. And when he pissed on the urinal cake, Johnny, it just dissolved. It just went away like it was acid. I never seen nothing like it. I'm acting like a cock? Yes, you're acting like a giant V-shaped, funny-looking guy in a porno cock. Huh? Remember that porno we saw with the guy with a V-shaped cock? Forget it. Yes, you were acting like a big, ugly cock banging a Hitler mustache vagina.
Huh?
Remember that porno we saw with the Hitler mustache vagina? Had the bangs hanging across the top. Forget it.
Try to get away, Ted. That was mean.
Yeah, well, God was mean to your tits.
That was mean.
Yeah, screw you, white precious. Shit!
Yes!
Hey, Johnny, total TJ hooker, right? Hey, who says women drivers are lousy? Huh? You didn't crash or nothing.
Well, you're probably not used to seeing me fully clothed.
Yeah, me and Nora met each other at a party at Tony Bennett's house back in 2002. We did it right on top of Tony's Pinky Ring collection.
I think about that night every time I sing Don't Know Why I Didn't Come.
Ah, yeah, this one's a ball buster. Me and Nora met in 2002 at a party at Pat Benatar's house. You remember what a fucked up host Pat was? You remember she walked out with a platter with less than 10 crackers on it and acted like that was enough. There were over 100 people there. Anyway, Nora and I had awkward, non-memorable sex in one of her child's bedrooms. Me and Nora met back in 2002 at this event for this charity that we were both involved with. This wonderful charity, actually, for kids who've been fucked by a family member. And we ended up hooking up in the back room.
I can't.
Do you know what happened if the Beatles had said I can't? We would have missed out on tons of timeless music. Elvis Presley, Madonna, John. If Madonna had said I can't, she would have probably crapped out after one hit. Do you know how old she is today, John? 68. She's 68 years old and still on top. Because she said I can. John, this is your Madonna moment. Come share this with me. Yes, you can, John. Like Barack Obama. Yes. What if Barack Obama had said I can't? Huh? He wouldn't have got elected. And we wouldn't have found out that a black guy can be a terrible president just like anyone else. John, this is your terrible black president moment. Come share this with me. You remember when we used to watch Sesame Street, right? And Cookie Monster would eat a cookie, but he wouldn't swallow anything? The pieces would just like fall off to the sides? You know, and we didn't think nothing of it at the time, but now we know it was on purpose. Because he was bulimic. John, don't be a bulimic Cookie Monster. Don't let the best parts of life crumble down your chest.
I can't.
John, let me tell you a story. Back in the 80s, there was an actor named Christopher Hewitt who was on a TV show called Mr. Belvedere. Now, he was a large man, and one day on the set, he accidentally sat down wrong and crushed his own balls. He was taken to the hospital and given treatment. Unfortunately, he sat on his own balls many times after that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm coming. This place looks great.
Oh, thanks, man. Did the whole thing for $8 and a blowjob.
How are the neighbors?
That was who I gave the blowjob to.
Oh, nice.
They gave me all their furniture.
Nice.
Seriously? One drink.
One drink. If you have more than one drink, I'll scream wreck.
There's something that I need to say to you two. The bear raped me.
Can you help me get out of my own car? I need help out of my own car. Hello? Hold on, hello.
Okay, Dad.
Mr. Bugatti?
I hate this car. Something's happening.
The volume came out.
There it goes. Ciao.
Right, all right. Yeah, yes, wow. Fuck. Hi. Why don't I just keep talking? Why did I ruin that thing? Is that right?
I'm sorry. Just hold on. You have.
John.
Lori. That was my fault. Just hold on. Oh my god. I am. Okay, I'm good.
People call me Johnny B on the dance floor.
You can dancer?
The best. Best in B-Town.
Sorry. Stop it. Stop. It's my fault. It's my fault.
If you understand a little bit, you sing up there.
Put it on. Watch this magic. Promise? Don't make me sing on Family Guy one.
Is this still her?
I don't want to sing on Family Guy. Please say your name.
I'm John.
Up the dog's ass, right?
Oh yeah, no, the fireman sticks a finger up the dog's ass, not his own ass.
God.
That's how they...
Who's the fireman who discovers that intervention, right?
I guess they do whatever they gotta do, you know?
It's like mad science.
No.
I thought the fireman stuck his own finger up his own ass.
No, the dog's ass, they're gonna stick it way up there, and if it goes up the wrong tube, then they gotta stick it back down the other end.
Wrong tube? What do you mean? There's multiple asses.
Inside the asshole, I don't know if it's a tube, is it a cave, a cove, I don't know.
Well, it's not a cave, I know that.
Something like that.
I'm sure they're like dog assholes like our asshole.
I probably had a couple of fucking rectal exams, you know.
Yeah, I've had a few. Probably too many.
No, I just thought you might want some extra semen on your on your poop deck.
If you are a Disney fan, listen up. Did you know that Pumbaa in The Lion King was the first character to fart in a Disney movie? Just fits in perfect with the character, don't you think? I wonder who the second character was. So, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to also click the notification bell. See you next time.
On the network, Squid finds it, isolates it, and provides clear instructions and evidence to ensure immediate action. It's time to secure your edgeless perimeter. Contact CyberAdapt today.
I was going to put music on.
Jonas, flat feet or something?
On the special part, Sarge.
Naughty Northen.
Who's she?
The bacon.
us daughter.
Good day.
One in the oven. You be careful, Molly.
What do you say, Molly?
Aye, Sarge.
Good lad. Oh, yeah.
You little bastards. Right, I don't know whether to unplug all this, put it in the kitchen, then I'll just start the dinner. Right, I'm doing this and I'm going to take it into the kitchen to do dinner. So you'll have to find us again.